Ever since the attacks in Nice, France, things have been going crazy all over the media, all over the United States. I mean, I've been on, I don't even know how many radio shows today. Was on Fox News late last night. And, you know, it's funny. It's not funny. It's interesting. Every time one of these events happened, and there's just been such a number of them in the last 45 to 60 days, these terror attacks abroad and at home. You know, every time one of them happens, everybody rushes to the ball in the media and in politics, you know, like 4-year-old kids at a soccer game. You know how when you're watching little kids play soccer and the ball's in the middle and they all just like crash on the ball, and it's like this little pack of legs and arms. You know, that's what it reminds me of whenever these attacks happen. Everybody just crashes to the issue, and then 48 hours or 72 hours of worthless deconstruction of the event. You know, where was the outer perimeter? How could we get more body armor for police? You know, looking at grainy camera footage that means nothing to anybody. You know, meanwhile, ISIS and their ilk have moved on, and they're already, you know, planning their next diabolical thing. And, you know, I was on a call today with a pretty big radio station. I forget who it was. And they kept asking me, like, okay, so what's the solution? You know, we see attack after attack after attack. Americans are frustrated. They're frustrated with our politicians. You know, what's the solution? And my response was, look, there's no one solution, but there are things that Americans can do. One of them being, one of the biggest ones we can be, is to restore trust in our communities here at home. Yeah, but what can we do? I mean, like, what can we really do to, you know, to defeat these guys? And I said again, well, one of the things that we can do that would make a huge impact against ISIS and other agitator groups is we could enhance our connectivity, our trust here at home. Yeah, but, you know, we need some action steps. And, you know, it just struck me right there in that moment. I mean, the same thing happened when I went on O'Reilly. I don't really know quite how to get my head around it yet. And I think some of you are seeing it too. You've made comments to me on this. But look, I'm telling you, these guys in ISIS and other groups and other agitator groups around the world and here at home that are sowing instability around different places, they thrive on fear. They thrive on tension between human groups, right? In groups and out groups, the most basic relationships between friend and foe, in group, out group, they thrive on that. They absolutely depend on that to pull those threads so that they can establish themselves in safe haven and then mobilize those people to do their bidding. You understand what I'm saying? And the absence of trust in these in-group, out-group dynamics is one of the biggest drivers of their business model, right? So the distrust between marginalized Sunnis in Iraq and a Shia-dominated government in Iraq, for example, creates the conditions for, you know, ISIS to do what they do. Well, the same thing is true here at home. If you want to change the game and be able to do something that really matters, help me get this 69% of Americans who don't think race is going the right way. Help me get that number down, right? Help me get the bridging trust reestablished in America that puts our primary identity as Americans first, not Democrats, not Republicans, not an ethnicity with a hyphen and then an American over it. Americans. Help me bridge out of your in-group, out of your comfort zone, and reestablish trust at the community level in your community, right? If you want to have an impact, if you want to create an antibody to extremism, that's it. Whether that is racist extremism, whether that is ISIS, they need an absence of trust and an escalation of conflict at a community level. If they have that, it's an accelerant to what they want to achieve. If they don't have it, it's an antibody. It's resilient. And it's what has defined America for years. We're losing it. We can't count on our politicians to restore it. We can do that. We can do that, and we can show what right looks like, and we can amplify it on platforms just like this. It's why I go on the media. It's why I'm talking to you now, is because local folks like me and you can do things that matter and then amplify the hell out of them. I want you to think about that over the weekend. Let's do this, right? It costs us nothing. And it is what ISIS fears the most. Till next time, I'll see you on the high ground.